I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and today I'm doing a little bit of kitchen gardening. Now, I planted a whole bunch of things. I was out till midnight last night still planting because today it was going to rain for 3 days, so I'm glad I got my seeds and my little plants out there. But I have a couple days downtime, and now I need to get my seed potatoes ready. Now, if you didn't know, Harvest Barn Country Markets, both in Niagara-on-the-Lake and in St. Catharines, carry seed potatoes. Now, seed potatoes are not the same thing as regular potatoes. They're actually for seeds, for seeding your potatoes. You can't just buy like little tiny seeds. This is how your seeds come. And each one of these little eyes that springs these little beautiful little green vegetation out of it, this is going to be a plant, each one of them. So I have to prepare these. I have a whole bunch of different kinds. I don't even remember all the names because I just put them all together. And I've got to prepare them. So you can either plant these directly in the ground like this, but why would you do that when you'd get 6 plants coming out of one little place, right? So what you actually do is you slice them to have one eye on each one. Now, the reason why I said I need some downtime, 3 or 4 days, because once you cut this open, you need it to form somewhat of a scab. If you put it right into the ground, for instance, let's just cut one right now. If you put it right directly in the ground like this, with that all open like that, bugs and things are going to go in there, it's going to rot, okay? That's not what you want. What you do want is that to form a protective layer. Now, you can leave these by themselves for 3 days and just let them dry out. It's not going to look real pretty, and that's okay. It doesn't really matter. You want to accomplish the goal. It'll be papery, kind of leathery feeling. But what I also do is I add some sulfur. Not only do potatoes like sulfur to grow, but the sulfur, it discourages insects and the rot, etc., right? No fungus. We don't want that. So I'm going to show you how to cut these. And I'm seeing, this also saves money because if you have potatoes with more than one eye, that's a whole bunch more plants, right? So we're just going to do that. We're going to cut this. There's another eye over here. So now I have one plant with each part, okay? And I'm just going to rinse and repeat. I have a whole bunch of different kinds. I'm not even exactly sure, like I said, but we're ready to go. So I'm going to cut some more of them up, and I'll talk to you about what I'm going to do after that. Try to cut in between the eyes. So see that? Now I've got little pieces with one little sprout coming out of each one. See that? Nice, right? Now I was so pleased to see these guys. They carry probably about 4 to 6 different kinds of these potatoes, and I was so pleased to see them. I've never seen them there before. So we're planting potatoes. Now the scab that you need to form on these guys, the leathery skin, it's going to take about 3 days, okay, to dry up a little bit. And that's okay. That's exactly what you want. Now you're wondering, because I'm sure you've seen your potatoes that you buy in the bags that you actually eat. You don't eat these. These are not for eating. The bags, though, that you buy of the potatoes at the store, the grocery store that you buy, sometimes they grow little sprouts too. Now, there's 2 schools of thought. Some of our produce is treated so that they don't sprout. They spray the potatoes, or they treat them somehow so that they don't actually sprout these little eyes, and it keeps them, you know, fresher longer for you to eat in your bag. Now, if you plant that, and you actually do get some of them, because you find them on lots of them. I know they say they're treated, but they create these eyes. You're going to get a potato plant. Now, as to the quality of potato or the kind of potato, I don't know what you're going to get. But it will definitely make a plant, and if you're in a pinch and can't find seed potatoes, I mean, go ahead and try, right? Now, each of these plants needs to be planted about 1 foot apart from each other. So estimate how many seed potatoes you need, or how many eyes you'll need that are sprouted for the amount of area that you have to plant in. Now, I got this garden sulfur at my store today for only a couple bucks, and it's a fungicide for flowers, fruits, and vegetables, and this is one of the great uses of it, okay? So the way I'm going to do this is you can use a paper bag, or you can use any bag you want, okay? And I like to just put them all in here, and I'm going to ever so gently shake them around so I don't break the little eyeballs. I'm going to shake them around with the sulfur. Just like you would do like shake and bake for dinner, right? Now, I'm a little late in my season, but better late than never, right? I should have been having these in the soil quite some time ago, but you know, life gets away on us, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So I can plant these once now, and I can also plant them again in like August for another really late harvest. So that's gonna be great. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some in, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon or so, and we're just gonna cover it up ever so gently. Now, I'm gonna let these guys hang out. I just have some like little plastic bins that have holes in them so they can kind of breathe. And you want these guys to create a scab. Now, it's just coated, you know, it's just coated in the sulfur. No big deal, right? No big deal. You can do this too. Again, you can do it without the sulfur, but it sure does help a lot. Who doesn't need a little bit of help? In my opinion, the sulfur also helps it dry out a little bit, the cut side. You don't want to just put that in the ground wet. Now these potatoes should have probably gone in within a couple weeks of the last frost in your spring, and you want to plant them a little bit deeper to make sure that they don't get hit with that frost, but we have no problem with frost now. Okay, let me finish the other ones. Now when you plant these guys in the ground after a couple days and they've scabbed over, see how these guys are going straight up? That's how you want to plant it in the ground, with them straight up, okay? So if one is kind of going sideways on you, whatever, you want to make sure whatever is straight up, okay? However it is you plant that. And I'm just going to repeat on these other ones. And then we're just going to chill out for a couple days until we're all ready and I get my soil prepared and the rain has stopped and I can get these guys in. We're going to have a bounty of potatoes to harvest this year. It's pretty exciting. Sprinkle a little bit more. There's no real science to it. Like cooking. Okay, so now I've got these perfectly coated, sulfurized potato eyeballs from the seed. Now I have very minimal sulfur left, and I'm gonna just dump that in my garden where I have my cabbages and things to, you know, discourage these bugs and any kind of fungus going on. Cool. So that's how you get your seed potatoes ready to plant. And I guess I might show you this back again in 3 days when I'm going to check them out so I can show you what it actually looks like. But right now, this is what I have. They're going in my back hallway so we don't smell the sulfur all night. And that's it. So, we'll see you then. All right, everybody. I'm ready to plant these potatoes. And they've scabbed up nicely, just like I wanted them to. They dried out on the insides. They're no longer wet. I covered them with that sulfur. And now I'm ready to prepare my ground. Now, next to it, I planted some cabbages and kale and things of that nature over here. But right here is the patch where I'm going to do some potatoes and alongside the back. So you don't need to see the back part. But right here is going to get some really nice sunshine, and it's going to be nice and somewhat dry. It seems to be drier here as well. So here's my potatoes that I prepared the other day, and they're ready to go in the ground. So make sure you check out the video on how to plant your potato seedlings, and I'll see you then. So that's how you prepare them, and we're going to get them in the ground today. So make sure you follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim, E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly and youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. And my site is cookingwithkimberly.com. That's it. That's all. Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.